All right, guys. So I'm saying guys like I have an audience so far, but yeah, so what we're gonna do here is we're starting up a channel. We're gonna have an Instagram, a Twitter that's gonna be a little bit more active. Twitter will probably be most active, but we're gonna shoot some videos here as well on YouTube and kind of going over what we're seeing in the market on a daily and weekly basis. I said daily, but these will probably start weekly at first, and then if we have enough interest, we'll move into like a daily type thing, and we'll look at specific stocks, any requests and things like that. So a little bit of background. So I've been trading in the stock market, crypto, Forex since about 2015. So I'm coming up here on 10 years. And I just kind of want to share a little bit of the success, and I will call it success, that I've had over the years because and obviously you can see we'll look at a 10-year. So this is just the S&P 500. It's just the broader market. The broad markets you have is the Nasdaq, the S&P, the Dow, and the Russell 2000. So as you can see, from 2015 was about where I started. I started in I think it was like April, May time. So yeah, right around here. And traditionally started in options trading, lost a lot of money, made a lot of money, been through a lot of up and downs, COVID, election year, things like that. And obviously these last couple of years have been pretty interesting with all this movement that we had. But it's great to see that we're back to all-time highs. So yeah, started my journey back in 2015. So coming up on 10 years, wanted to show you guys something that gives me a little bit of credibility that's pretty interesting to share with everybody. So right here I have the Bitcoin chart up. So a little bit of crypto. So how my journey really all started was and these lines that you see here are the 200-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. So those are the two lines that you see. But how my journey really started is I got into this kind of group of traders and investors, and there was kind of a head honcho guy that was teaching us all how to invest and trade, but more so trading. Shout out to the trading fraternity, Josh Answers. Fantastic guys, taught me a bunch. Really paved the way to show me how to start trading, how to start investing in stock, but again, more focused and centralized on trading. So made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. I will say right now, and this may change as these videos evolve, options are not my ideal method of utilizing the stock market. Again, you can make a bunch of money. I'll show you something that I was looking at today that I got into and I got out of, and another couple other FOMO um, options that I really wanted to execute on yesterday, but didn't have an opportunity to because I have work. So outside of this, I have my own marketing company. We build websites and do digital advertising for companies as well. So I try to do this on the side. These are going to be like nightly videos. Right now, I am doing it at 10:30 a.m. because I don't have any meetings or anything until 12. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time just trying to open up this page and start to engage with the investing and trading community that's out there. So again, anyways, back to Bitcoin. So like I said, I started around 2015, March, April 2015. So right about here in this time, you have your years down here and everything. And you can see Bitcoin. So if you look at the end of my cursor for people that's don't really know how to read these charts, but I'm sure a lot of you know what you're looking at here. This is the price, obviously, on this axis, and then this is the timeline. So, and then these are the candlesticks, the opens and closes for each. I think I'm on a daily chart, I think I'm on a weekly interval chart. So these are the weekly candles. Yeah, I'll get into that on separate videos. But anyways, 2015. So we'll look over here, look at the all the way over here on this side when I am at 2015. I'll just put my cursor here. So it was about, it looks like it's saying 300, 500, but I'll tell you, I bought Bitcoin at 221 is what it was. So let's just, you can see it says 232 right there. So 221, my original investment was 1,000. It was just above $1,000 because I bought 5 Bitcoin. So 221 times five, it was about 1,100 bucks. And so what happened during that run is I held it for a good amount of time. And you can see in 2017, we started to get some real nice movement here. Bitcoin got all the way up to about 18, 19.5. 19,500. So again, the initial investment was about 1,100 bucks, about 5 total Bitcoin, $200 a pop. And what ended up happening is this Bitcoin started to move quite substantially in 2016 and more so 2017. So we got up here to 1,500 a coin, 3,000 a coin, 4,600, and obviously again up to 19.5 here. So this was my first taste of really trading anything, any type of stock option, crypto, Forex, whatever that may be. And because back to that story, the Josh Answers, he had trading classes. He kind of did it like college fraternities where we had groups of people that would come in every quarter, and there would be about 15 to 20 of us. There would be hundreds and hundreds of people submitting their applications, and Josh would only take about 15 to 20, so he could really spend time with everybody and teach them the ropes of this business and how this works. So again, was in it in 2015. We were in it for pretty much a whole year. So we'll just say 2015, April to 2016. Bitcoin only barely got up to 1,000. So as we come out of this, I'm starting to take everything that I learned and place it how I would like to with my own practices and what I'm going to really set up for a long-term growth. Again, I was doing a lot of options trading. Um, I'll tell you, it was very, very stressful. Again, I've had success recently with options, but I can still lose money, and I still do lose money. I don't even want to say that I don't lose money because I do. And again, I'll show some of those in other videos of some option plays that I did. Um, so what ended up happening to me here is I saw Bitcoin move to 3,000 right here, essentially in June of 2017. And so what did I do? I had 5 Bitcoin, right? They were worth $3,000 a piece. So take my initial investment of 1,100 bucks. I'm pretty sure I sold them out at exactly 3,000. Not pretty sure. I know I did. It was like 3,000, maybe a couple bucks plus the 5 Bitcoin that I bought, 15,000. So I took $1,000 to 15,000. That was my first big win ever. And again, trading anything. And then I proceeded to see this go up to 4,500, up to 20,000. And as you can see, it came back down, and then everybody knows how we made a run up to 70,000 up here, 69,000. At the end of 2021. So that was just kind of a story I wanted to share. I sat all the way through this. I didn't really believe in Bitcoin. I didn't really know what it was. Again, our fraternity, our trading, our pledge class is what they were called, was called the Bitcoin Boys. So that was the only reason why I actually bought a Bitcoin in the first place. I didn't really know what I was working with, what it was, how it worked. And even to this day, I'm not going to profess to be an expert at knowing exactly how the blockchain works and everything. I have a pretty good understanding of how it works, but that won't be something that I'm going to be diving into unless, again, I get further educated and I can speak intelligently to you guys about that. So yeah, so again, I started buying. Gotta look at my trade logs, but I know it was in this range here, whether it was on the way up here, on the way down, or on the way up or on the way down here. Because right now I am about even, and I know that because that's where we're trading at now. And I started buying Bitcoin, uh Litecoin, Ethereum, Doge, all the shit coins and everything when we had this big bull run. So I think it was around here. Obviously went up, made some money, never sold, never sold, never sold, came back down. Still never sold. Then I started purchasing more Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin all up through here. So I'm up, but on my current status of where I started and where I am now, it's pretty much at the same trading value. So I am up. I think I have a Bitcoin. I bought it in as low as like 23,000, and I've been buying all the way up to 42,000 as of this last week. So that's just where I am when it comes to cryptos. Again, I'll dive more into that. So yeah, let's take this off the screen. Let's jump into some just very basics of trading, reading charts, not trading. Let me take that back. Let's just talk about some basics of how to read charts, what we're looking at here. Some very rudimentary images that we're going to see here on E-Trade Pro. So this is E-Trade Pro. You do have to pay for this platform. It's something I've had since 2015 and when I did first start paying for it. But if you start making enough transactions, whether that be trades or buying shares in companies, they will just pretty much continue. It just pays for itself with the commissions that you have. So you just get to continue to keep it. So it is a desktop app. This is what I use to make all my transactions, again, whether it be stocks or options. And that's generally what I focus on these days. Outside of the crypto, I'm investing in that long term because I do believe in that as a long term play. It's kind of like a gold play. It's just something outside of stocks and traditional currency with the dollars and everything. I just want to be diversified inside of crypto and especially Bitcoin. And then again, I know Ethereum has some actual value that it can provide in the blockchain space. Again, I'm not going to profess to know exactly how that works, but yeah. So let's look at a 20-year chart on the S&P. So what we're looking at here is pretty much the overall market. I only look at the S&P 500. I don't really look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's a bunch of tech stocks. Russell 2000. Honestly, don't even know what that's comprised of. Probably the best 2000, some type of stocks. Then the Dow, and then you have the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the best 500 stocks, and they cycle through quarterly. They have people on the COMB that actually decides what stocks are and aren't on the S&P 500. But I like looking at the S&P 500. That gives me an idea of how the overall market is performing. So that's what you'll always see on my screen 3 is the S&P 500. Screen 4 is my portfolio, and then 5 and 6 I have a bunch of these miniature screens where I look at like the FANG. So you have we used to call it FANG, but now it's a Meta. So you have your Facebook, Meta, Apple, Netflix, Google. So there's your FANG, FANG. Meta's M instead of G or instead of F. Tesla, I can show you guys. I'll show you guys some positions. I own Tesla at about, I think it's $48 a share. Been buying those since 2015, and they've had a bunch of stock splits. Again, we'll go over what stock splits are and things like that. Chart doesn't look great right now, but I'm still purchasing. I believe in Tesla. I think Elon Musk is an absolute rock star. And then Amazon. Amazon's fantastic. We get Amazon to our door just about daily, so that's a incredible stock as well. And then I have Square. Oh goodness, this one is a horror story I'll have to tell you guys about. Had a lot of it around the $40 to $60 range. Went all the way up to 300 during COVID when everybody was online and doing those type of transactions. Never sold out. Thought it was going to the moon, and still holding it down here back to pretty much where I bought it. So kind of flat on there. Same with PayPal. You'll see the same story here. Flew up during COVID. Truly believe in both of these companies still to this day. I think they're fantastic companies. But I'll start showing you guys some technical analysis. It's just they just don't look good, right? I mean, a basic way to look at a chart is if it's heading from the left hand top left hand corner down to the bottom right hand corner. That's a declining chart. You don't want to see that. So you can see Nvidia over here. That's going from the right the bottom the bottom left to the top right. But again, if you pull this out on a 10-year outlook, okay, that looks great. Let me change this one maybe. So if you look at 150-day, okay, you can see the chart starting to move sideways is what we call it. So it's starting in one position, staying sideways. It's not going from bottom left to top right, but it's also not going from top left to bottom right in a declining situation as well. Like there, 30. Yeah, these are probably all going to look very, very similar. All I'm doing, guys, is, and so that doesn't look good, right? So it's declining. And that's just a basic way to look at a chart. That is not what I advise for trading and investing. But again, this is a very rudimentary look at stocks, charts and things like that. Target, the fiance, I say fiance, I should still use the word girlfriend. Girlfriend absolutely loves targets. Females love Target. I do think it's a great stock. I think it bounced right here back to these levels. Again, I'll show you guys levels and things like that with Fibonacci retracements and things like that. So I do believe in Target as well. Disney, this one's a heartbreaker for me because I did believe in Disney. I bought a lot of Disney up around the 101 level. Yeah, it was 110 actually is where it was. So I'm not down on it too bad, but just was a great stock over the years. See how it goes left to right. And it's just sitting back down here. It definitely looks like it has bottomed out here. It definitely should not break any more of these levels again. I'd have to look at it on a chart. But I think there's a good buying opportunity for Disney right here. For the long term. I think they have potential, but there's just a lot of it's very politicized right now. There's a lot of things going on with Disney, and you have to look at the fundamental in the news that's also happening as well. So you have to keep that in mind. You can't just base everything off of technicals and fundamentals. There's political, geopolitical things that are happening. So yeah, we'll get into all that. So that's what I have here for my screens. I'm not going to click on four because that's going to be my portfolio, and I'll show you guys screenshots of those, and I'll have that set up a little bit differently. It's not going to be something I share with you guys very candidly and transparently. It's going to be more certain positions, cost bases, not going to share position sizes and things like that. Just don't think that's beneficial or valuable to you guys. It doesn't help. I don't need people either thinking that, oh, they should have got in, having FOMO and getting all butthurt about it. And I also don't want people thinking, oh, well, he doesn't actually have any money. If you guys are worth hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars, I'm not there yet. Okay. I did get my CPA certificate, that I did make millionaire status. I am a actual millionaire at 27 years old. That was last year. I'm 28 this year. So I will tell you, I have well over six figures in my stock trading accounts. And I also have real estate and a bunch of other things that are going on. But again, not going to show that. There's no reason to show that. That's just going to add personal biases on this. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't think that's going to be valuable. I don't think it's going to help anybody to know that information. So we're going to just stick to charting. And I keep saying trading and stocks and things like that. That is what I'm going to actually change this into. It's going to be called charting. That is what we're going to be looking at here. So chart two, or my screen two, always has bots here. BOTZ. This is the artificial intelligent ETF, as you can see right here. And then what you guys always see on this right side, this is a options chain, is what they're called. And then over here on the left, you have your volume coming in and out. There's a 1 year time frame, a daily 1 year. And then this is actually the movement of the stock. So again, I can come out 10 years. You can see this started trading back in 2017. I have owned bots. Yeah, all through this fun stuff. And again, this is just where it was tough for me, guys, because we had a marketing company. And again, I'll dive into these conversations a little bit more. We had a marketing company where it was very hands-on, very interperson, where we were at meetings all day, every day. And so that took a big tumble during COVID. And then we went completely digital and online through 21, 22, and all of that. So all these positions that you saw, Square did this movement, PayPal did this movement. Oh, what's the other one? Chewy, because I have a dog. So Chewy, a lot of the online spaces, they obviously did incredible during COVID, right? Because things were locked down. People were doing a lot of online shopping, investing, things like that, using a lot of online services because they couldn't physically go into stores. So again, I've bought bots all the way up through here. It shot up. Never have sold any of the position. I think my cost basis is around $20 on this. I guess I'll share some of the information to be very broad, but I'm not gonna go into exacts and specifics. And so yeah, again, very, very big movement here. Let me see what else. So then I can go and chart, and then I have my chart one, or screen one. Looks very, very similar, right? This is just where I buy my options. Is chart one and two. I look at things on chart th 3, 2, 1, 2, and 3, 5, and 6 just gives me an overview of the larger markets and things like that. So the S&P, I always generally look at it at 14-day max. I really don't move this from a minute time frame because I just like to see the movement. This is what I was talking about, from left to right. So that looks really good over the last 2 weeks, last 14 days. And this just looks incredible anyway. So the last 2 years, there's a lot of buying opportunity. Um, on my personal Instagram, I was telling everybody to buy here in October. Yeah, because I've done very, very well since here, October up to here. Okay, so I can show you some more things. So this is a high-low ticker that I have on this screen as well. This shows what's hitting lows, this shows what's hitting highs. If I click on any of these, see this says link to right here, so I'll just click click on whatever one this is. It'll go over to my screen too, show me exactly what the stock is. 10-year, 20-year. I have no idea what this is. Relics PLC sponsored. No idea what this is. This is a pretty crazy chart. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. So that's hitting lows, but it's saying lows for the day, right? So what you're looking at here as you're coming for today, it's hitting lows for the day. It doesn't mean that it's hitting like all-time lows or anything. If you look at a 100-day, it's pretty propped up. It looks good, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean it's moving just like everything. It's moving very, very well. But I'm so close to hitting my portfolio because I like seeing that. So same thing with the green. So ADM, not really sure what that is, but again, so see this one looks like it's a low. It looks like it's a bad chart, right? Geez, it is getting hammered. Again, I have no idea what these are. These just pop up on these high lows. I don't really ever look at them. I'm looking at the volume of how many lows, how many highs to see where the market is moving. And then that's where I also use this as well down here. This is a order entry for the S&P is what I look at specifically. But again, you can put anything in here. So like if you put Apple in here, you get the bids and everything for Apple as well. And then all these are links, so Apple pops up over here. But I like seeing the S&P. I like seeing what's coming in. So this is the bid. People are bidding 4.7. So if I look at this on a 1 minute, so it's 49694. I said 4.7, sorry. So 4969496. So that's people are bidding that amount, and then the sellers on the market are asking this much. So you can actually see these, and then you can see the size of these orders going through 400, 100, 2,000. Somebody just sold 2,000. Somebody just bought a bunch of hundreds. So it's like you can just get a good feel, and that's what all these blocks are too. These are like momentum trackers of like, okay, what's going in? And so this makes sense, right? You have a lot more new lows. We're making lows on the day. We're not making lows, but the chart is coming down. We've topped out a little bit up here. And now you have a lot of red in these boxes. You have a lot of red over here and a lot of red over here. So again, very rudimentary. I'm going to dive into this a little bit more. Yeah, so that was the high lows. I can click on whatever's flying over here and come see it over here. That's a pretty interesting looking chart. Wow. 16 to 24. I don't know what that stock is at all. Looks great. All right, so I'm going to show you one of the things I do because we just found a stock that we kind of like here. Not like, but we want to investigate. So guys, what you see me doing here is I always leave a daily chart, and then I'm looking at I like to see a big picture, a 5-year, where it's moved over the whole time that the stock's been able to be traded. And then I like looking at a year. And then what I put here, this yellow line, is the simple moving average, the 200-day standard moving average. I think it's called the simple moving average, but it's the standard moving average. So that's what it gives you over 200 days. What you guys saw that on the Bitcoin chart as well. Over 200 days, and this one has the 100-day chart as well. It gives you what the average stock price is trading at for there. So that is a good indicator. Generally, a lot of people use that as an indicator for if a stock is moving in the right direction or not. Okay. And what I mean by that is, let me just get a different stock here so I can show you guys. So this is PayPal. Okay. So if we bring the 5-year here, let's bump it up to 10-year. No, that's too much. And why I said that was too much is so you look at the 10, you can't really see movement. You just you can see the reds and greens. I mean, fine. You can see the price that it was at. But like for me, and everybody's different, guys. Everybody's going to be doing this completely different. But for me, that doesn't give me a good idea. Like I want to see exactly where these things are crossing. And when I say crossing this yellow line. So if I come into a 5-year, okay, I can see that a little bit better, and I can give you guys a little bit better depiction of what we're looking for here. So 200-day standard moving average, right? So the stock here it was riding up above the moving average, came down, broke down below it, but pulled back up. So that's good. So what people will do is they'll use these moving averages as an indicator to buy or sell, which is pretty crazy to me because you can have a lot of false signals, and it's not completely crazy to me because I use it as a metric to invest and trade, but I don't use it as my end all be all. It's just one of the tools in our arsenal that we're going to be using. But again, very rudimentary video. Want to show you guys at least some of the basics of what people are using and how they look at it. So again, broke back down here. So sometimes if you guys would just look at here to here, and you don't see this whole other picture. And I could do that. I could get a specific time frame for you guys to see this, but I'm trying to blow through this. So this is a decently short video, but I can tell that I'm rambling quite a bit. There's a lot of information to cover here, but anyways, some people would say, oh, so it broke here and then it broke down the standard moving average here again. Oh, it's going to continue to move down. We're going to sell out of positions, get out of all of our positions. So it's again, it's not a end all be all metric, but it's a good way to know which way the stock's moving. But again, it bounced off of this pretty hard, came back up through, and it stayed above this moving average. So again, people would use this, and maybe this is another way to look at a good metric to see if the stock is going to move in a direction that is beneficial to where you think it's going to be moving, is these highs. So again, don't look at all this over here to the right, just look at the left. So this was the last high, this was the last high, and then you can see down here where my pointer is, it gives you the time frame. So if I put it right there, that was February 19th of 2020. This was July 12th of 2019. So those are the highs right there. And you can see this line going across about 123 again. Look at my cursors here, 123. So a good indicator of once this crossed the 200 standard moving average, then it actually broke above the last two highs, which is a phenomenal thing to see. And so maybe people started to buy in there. It looks like they had an earnings report, so that's why it bumped up. But again, it stayed above the standard moving average for a long time. And this right here is a great indicator for you to use and for other people to use, because right here you see it broke that very, very hard, very, very aggressively. So if you bought in down here at 133 and you sold out when this broke, even if you let it break a little bit more to make sure you had confirmation bias, you got to 243, but you bought in at 120. I mean, you just made $100, $120 per share. So depending on how many you bought, and whatever that is, that's close to what, an 80% return, something like that. So that's phenomenal, great metric. So then it breaks down, so now you're below this. So then you can say, okay, this stock is going to continue to head south, head negative, until it gets back above this standard moving average. And that's what it did. It didn't come back above at all, but obviously, right, I mean, you're talking about a standard moving average. That's the moving average over the last 200 days. So if it's under that amount, obviously the line's going to move that way as well. So let's come into let's look at a 3-year. So that's where it broke right there. Okay, so this is actually stock I'm looking to put some more money to work with. Again, I've owned this stock. I bought it before this run, but again, I'm pretty much like break even because it's continued to die these last couple of years. I was fine with it in here and it just continued to die. I didn't use my 200 SMA at all, and I should have. And I should have sold out, and I should be purchasing everything right now. Here is a great place. But I just didn't. Life gets in the way. I haven't had time. Again, that's why I'm starting this channel, is so I can start to be more involved and have a real purpose to get on and do these every single day. So again, over the last 2 years, it broke up, it touched it, right? It touched it, it broke, it touched it, it broke. That's where a lot of people on Twitter right now, they're saying, see, it broke right there, but it came back down. It broke right there, but it came back down. They're saying this is some of the best price action that PayPal has seen over the last 5 years since it broke down, which it's true. Not over the last 5 years, last 3 years. Yeah, last 3-ish years, which is true. It's some of but right here it stayed over. So this is more daily closes. So these candles are daily closes. So each one of these candles are a close. Closing meaning there's the trading that goes from 9:30 in the morning. The stock market in America, at least the normal NYSE, is open from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you're located, just whatever, figure out your time zones for that. So yeah, if you come over here, go to a 50-day, so that's really good. Like, price action is staying above the 200-day standing moving average. So what you can also do, so there's other kept calling it standard moving averages. It is the simple moving average, like I originally said. All right, we're gonna have to cut that out. That's stupid. Oh, hey, but this is the first video. I guess we're gonna just let it run. Just let you guys give me a bunch of shit for it, and yeah, we'll just go for it. So simple moving average. So you can start to bring, so people use 50 days and 100 days to give you a little bit more accurate picture of how things are moving. There's this guy I follow on Twitter. He puts all of these on here, and depending on which way they're moving here, I'll just show you guys what these all look like. They just give you different averages, right? And so the shorter your average is, the more similar price action is going to be to what that line is. So see, they just get built right on top of each other. You can look at them something like this, but I know a guy that he removes the chart completely and he just shows the lines like this, and he goes all the way down to like a 5 and a 10, and it shows the direction. And he says, okay, when the 100-day crosses, so this is how they determine their indicators. So when the 100-day crosses right there, the 200-day, that's when you should sell. So if you waited for that to happen, that happened all the way down here. So back to our original scenario, if you sold out at the what did I say, 43 or 34, dyslexic, don't know. But if you waited until this cross here, then you would have been at 186 when you bought in. What did we say? We bought in around the 130. So you'd only make $50 per share instead of the $100 per share. So like, guys, it's just you're going to have to figure out your own trading methodology. And again, that's what I'm going to be here for. I'm going to show you how I do it, how I look at things as well. But if you used, okay, if you use the 20-day, the 20-day crossed the 200 simple moving average way back up in here. So that might give you a better indication. But the closer you get with these moving averages, the tighter that range gets and the tougher it is to determine. So look at that. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Come back. So I mean, the white line might be a good indication here, because I don't see that 20-day has crossed that 200 again, which that is a really good sign. And so that's what's happening here, guys. So the 20, so that's white, the 20-day moving average is about to cross the 200-day. And the last time that happened was, see, it's just tough to see everything, was up here. So when that crossed, that was a good indication to sell. So let's look at the 5-year. There's just too much shit on here. Let's remove this and remove that. So that white line, see, when it's moving around so close to the average, it's tough to make a decision on what you want to do. But again, if you use that as an indicator of that crossing right there, you would have bought in at 108 instead of buying in at 130. But again, if it crossed there, sold out here, like how are you going to determine when it actually gives you certainty that you're going to buy or sell, right? So again, I'll jump into more of that in other videos, but there's just a lot that goes into this, guys, and so that's what we're looking at here. So yeah, PayPal is looking good, right? So get rid of that 20. So guys, I do the 100 and the 200. That's really all I ever need. The 100 gives you a little bit tighter range, and then the 200-day gives you really, really good range. Because right now, what this is saying, if you look at just the 100, is look, it broke the 100 a couple times, but see what it did here? It broke the 100 here, and it went up and tested the 200-day, but it rejected it. It came right back down and then went back below the 100 as well. So again, it's crossing the 100 right here, but it's staying in that range, which is very strong. And now it's staying above the 200-day, which is really, really strong too. So we'd like to see that. That's a really positive indicator when we're looking at PayPal here. So yeah, that is simple moving averages. I said standard moving averages. I can't believe I said that. I like corrected myself because I thought I was wrong, but I certainly was not. So that's a really good indicator. And so if you look at, like, we'll just look at the S&P. Whoa. So you have weeklies and monthly, guys. So you can really get out here 25 years. Like, look at that. Whoa. So you had the dot-com crash here. You had the 2008 housing bubble crash here. You had the COVID pandemic here. And then, yeah, I'm gonna try not to stay political, but you had yeah, fun stuff here. So let's just come back to a daily. Let's just look at a 5-year for this. Let's put the 200-day on here. And so you can change these colors too. You can go into customs, change all the colors. But again, this is on eTrade Pro. 100-day. Okay, so we're looking at the overall market. So this is how I determined if the market is strong or not, or we're doing well, right? So this whole time it was very worrisome. But there's another indicator for us to look at to see if this is going to bottom out. And that's why I bought a bunch of stock here in October, because I was looking at this. I saw like there's a pocket here. We're going to retest these levels again. Like that's definitely what was going to happen. If you look at any of these big pullbacks that we had, like this one, okay, it came back to that level, but then we came up. It really wanted to try to test this level, and so it did just barely test that level there, and then we popped and we rocketed from 2020 to 2022. So that's what it did here again. It tested that last level. We came across here. You see, I'll have to break this down for you guys a little bit more. I wish I could draw on the screen, but right here, see how right here and right here, those are volume pockets right there. Very, very strong. Let me go back to this. So people were worried right here because it was below the 200-day. People thought we were going to crash and burn. But if you did also some other things, you'd actually looked at the broader market, you'd know that a actual recession, not depression that everybody thought that we were going to have, an actual recession is anywhere from a 20 to 30% pullback. And so if you did the math from here, the 480 that we were at, we're at 480. Yeah, 481 here. I'm going to just show you guys. So I use a very, very basic percent change calculator, right? Okay, so we have 480 there. And then we came down. Let's just use this area. Let's just not even say it came down to, no, let's do that. 350. So it came down to 350. And some of you guys are mathematicians, probably do that in your head, right? So we pretty much came down that 20 to 30%. We came down 27%. And if you look at other stocks and things like that, things were coming down more than that, coming down 30, 40, 50%, some other occasions, like you saw. And PayPal, like Square, look at this. They got demolished, like absolutely demolished. And that's why I'm salty about that. But so I had a pretty good idea that it was going to be very, very close to the bottom here. And so now that we have made our way back up, this is like a nice, I don't know, and that's what's going to happen on these videos, guys. They're going to have some experts on here that, I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing it my own way. I've just been investing and trading in small portions. I've been very successful. The majority of my net worth is I don't want to say that it's in stocks because I also own a couple single family homes and a couple multifamily properties as well. But this is a way that I've been able to create wealth for myself over the last 10 years. And this is how I look at charts and how I determine things. Again, I might not use the right vernacular or terminologies, and I'll have the people in the comments destroy me on that, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm also here to learn as well. So if people want to tell me that I'm reading these charts wrong, or they might look at them differently, great. Share your opinions, share your advice. I'm not necessarily going to say that's going to change or jade my opinion or advice on how I'm going to do things, because it's worked very well for me thus far. But I will at least tell you that you can go for it if that makes you happy. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I have very, very broad shoulders. I deal with clients that are up my ass all day, every day. And you're not going to hurt my feelings at all. So again, let's come back. Let's move this into a 3-year so we can look at this a little bit tighter. So let's get rid of the 100-day. Let's just talk about the 200-day here. Again, cross the 200-day here. It did stay under. Again, worry. Bunch of people were worrying. We came back up here. We tested it. We tested it again. And now we sat back above it. So that was a very, very good indicator that we were staying above the 200-day for what? From March all the way up until, July. So that's great, right? That's 4 months of staying above there. And then pretty much here, we probably had 4 months, one, two. No, that was almost a full year that we stayed under it. So yeah, 2022 was not a great year. Yeah, that's right. That's when all my accounts got shit on, and this last year was fantastic. And so again, you'll see it tested that, right? Okay, so it's not just testing that 200-day moving average. It's not just testing that. If you look at all these levels here, and this is where I got to really bring up my trading view for you guys to see it a little bit differently. I don't need to see it because I can see it on the chart, but there will be like mountains in here. So like this will be stacked sideways, and it will show you where these volume packs are. And that's exactly what this is showing. Like, just look at all the volume. I wish I could draw. Damn, I don't know. Let's just say here 277 and about 414. So right here, this range right here, there's a lot of volume going through here, right, guys? So it stayed in this sideways range. Like, there's just a lot of volume. It's almost a full year. It probably is a full year, May to, yeah, close to May. And so what did this do? What did the S&P do? It came down, it broke the 200-day moving average. It rejected the 50% Fibonacci retracement. I'll get into exactly what the Fibonacci retracements are, how these numbers are determined, all that stuff. But these are really, really good. These lines are really, really good indicators to see where things are moving. As you can see, it touched it. It also touched the 200-day, bounced off it, rejected it so hard, rejected all this volume as well. And then we pulled up from 410 all the way up to freaking, we're up at another 100 points right now, as we sit right now. So this is a great indicator. What I was getting at when I started this rant is this is a phenomenal chart. This is looking great. See how over here it stayed way above the 200 moving average as well. We go back 5 years. Look at this run. Does it not look indicative of exactly what we had here? It tested it, broke out a little bit, stayed up. And yeah, guys, we might come back. We might come close. As this chart continues to grow and move up this way, it might test this 200, but I think at least for the next year. This is my prediction for 2024 at least, because before I made this video, I just put a bunch more, even at all-time highs, I just put a bunch more money into my accounts. At the end here in the next few minutes, I'll share with you guys what I purchased and things like that. But this is a great indicator, new all-time highs. It bounced off that fib level. It's over the 200-day moving average, and now we're gonna continue to push. So it's probably gonna bounce back. We're probably gonna come to here. We'll bounce back. We'll get close to it, but we are probably going to push like this at least until election time, end of the year. Let's just say November, right? Because that is end of year, but let's say election time. Why? Couple reasons. Political. Here we're looking at other factors that move the market and things like that. So political, what I mean by that is regardless if it's the Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. I'm not even going to get into those conversations, at least not on this video. Is whoever is in office, whether it's Biden or was Trump the last 4 years, they are going to want to see everything doing well. And when I say they, I'm meaning the general population, Americans. We want to think that our 401ks are growing. We want to think that the stock market is continuing to grow. We want to see that the jobs, the unemployment number is staying down. We want to see that the gas prices are staying down. We want to see inflation coming down. So that's all in one, right? That's my broad macro picture of what they want to have the general population perceive coming into an election year. So what that means, I love this PLTR, this Palantir. I bought a ton of that today. I'll show you that chart here shortly. Let me just click on that so I don't forget. So see, clicked on it, it'll pop up right here. Look at that, beautiful. I'm gonna show you guys that shortly. So what they're gonna do is, I don't want to use the word prop up. I have a client that does videos on this, and he says they're going to prop it up through the election. Then he thinks that the stock market's going to crash. It's not going to crash, guys. I mean, this was where is Trump's election, 2006? Like this, it's crazy. It was just like a little blip. It looks like a little blip right now, right? So like when he got elected, it freaking dropped pretty hard, and then we did fantastic ever since. I don't remember what this drop was. I don't know. I have to look at that one. And then obviously COVID, the new election, everything happened right there. So again, same thing is going to be happening right now. Oh, Uber's flying too. We got a bunch of Uber. We love Uber. Fantastic. The market is just going to go up, guys. They're gonna want to make it look like everybody is doing well. The general population is doing well going into the election. And so what that means is the Democrats are in office right now. Biden is office right now. So that means that they want all the Americans to think, oh, the Democrats did a phenomenal job over the last 40 years, which honestly, if you look at it, and that's why I'm saying I'm not going to sway one way or the other on these videos. I mean, the market's up, right? I mean, we did good. general consensus, the market goes up over time, 10 years. I mean, shit, that's what it looks like, right? Um, but it went up. I mean, we're doing all right. I mean, yeah, it was pretty choppy in 2022. A lot of people thought the market was going to crash, but again, we tested, bounced those levels to where he Biden first was elected back in 2020, and we pulled back up. Everything's good. So I think they're going to continue to reinforce that. The market is going to continue to drive up through the end of the year. And so this is my encouragement for you guys to buy some stock right now. And if it's your first time that is just getting into stocks and trading and things like that. Again, guys, I'll do videos on trading, I'll do videos on all these different things. I'm keeping it very broad of like, hey, get in the stock market. It's an apparatus that moves upward over time. That's just all that it is. I mean, there's no reason that even if you have a couple $100, I don't care. You should buy one share of Apple. I don't care. Get your money in the market. It's a moving apparatus that goes up over time. I have a direct quote I'll have to pop up in this video. And there's also a bunch of statistics that shows the worst down years and the worst down years and the best up years, how many down years they're compared to up years, and whatever it is, it's like a ratio of there's 80% good years compared to the 20 bad years. And the 80% obviously more than compensate and makes up for the 20% of the bad years that happen. I mean, because right, you have this year, you have this bad year, you have this bad year, this bad year. But look, there's clearly more green than red. So yeah, it's a good thing. Need to plug, this is not trading or stock investment advice. I do not recommend you guys take my advice or do anything with these videos. These are just my opinions. This is not stock trading and stock buying advice. Anyways, I do think you guys I do think that you guys should invest in the stock market 100%. Again, if you're just getting started, go buy this S&P. Go buy the SPY. Yeah, it's $400 a share. So okay, so don't buy that. You can buy it's called IWM. That's the Russell. That's an ETF of the Russell. That's 192. DDM is the ETF of the Dow Jones. That's only $82. I own all these guys. Like I'm not putting stuff out here that I don't own. The S&P, the SPY is the ETF for the S&P 500. So that is pretty much the price you guys are going to get it. I think there's some other divergent ETFs, but nothing that I would mess with at all. But again, go buy like I want to type in FB. That's so funny. You can tell I'm a little dated when it comes to these, but Meta, I mean, I'll tell you what, I told you guys I bought a bunch down here. I love this chart right here. This is just a fantastic looking chart here. I mean, it's not fantastic looking, but the way that it's moved since last year is fantastic. Let me get rid of this moving average. So that might be tough to buy because if you only have a couple $100, right? I'm trying to get you guys into something that you only have a couple $100 for. I'd say definitely DDM. Do the pro shares, Ultra Dow 30. That's the Dow Jones. Again, we're at all-time highs. So guys, we might come back. You might go down to 60 or whatever. Get your money invested. That's all I'm saying. Just get your money invested. What else do we got here? Apple is $180 a share. Yeah, 190. That's not a bad one. I'm trying to look at the charts that I have around me in my room here, but a lot of them are over $100. Let's go over here. It's Meta. I mean, Tesla's a great buy, guys. They've done a lot of buyback. Amazon. I mean, if you guys can buy some Amazon, Tesla, Amazon, those are great buys. Square Paper. I'm gonna do a video after this on PayPal. I just need to do a video on PayPal. This is not Marvel like Disney, guys. This is Marvel Technologies, a little bit different. Anybody that has a question there? Nvidia. Again, I like Disney here too, but I wouldn't tell you guys to take a look at that. Yeah, I would say Apple. Apple for sure. Because again, guys, look, we're going sideways. They haven't had a big push up like Meta just did in a long time. This is a great looking chart, guys. I would Apple, and then they just came out with the Vision Pros, whatever the hell they call those. This is a phenomenal buy for $200 a share. Phenomenal buy all day, every day. I bought Apple today as well. Yeah, so Apple, DDM. Yeah. So those are just a couple of the stocks that I would purchase. Yeah, guys. I mean, that's all I'm going to really go over on this video. I kind of just wanted to introduce myself. Kind of want to just publish my first video I felt like I was very, very fast talking. I'm not normally this fast talking, especially in what I do with my digital agency and my marketing company, because I have to be very, very well versed and talk at a very simple level to have people understand the message that I'm trying to convey and things like that. But honestly, guys, I am more passionate about this than anything else that I do in my life, anything else that makes me money. And so I really am going to try to put a lot of time and effort into this going forward in 2024, just to bring you guys value, show you guys what I'm looking at, show you guys what I'm seeing in the stock market. We're going to go over some news. We're going to talk about Fed interest rates, just the whole 9 yards that comes to charting and how the stock market is moving. So please leave some comments below for me. Please subscribe. I'm probably going to get like 2 views on this video, but that's fine. That's why we start these channels, right? Everybody else that's out there that knows that we had to start someplace. BA, guys, that's Boeing. I like that stock too. Um, that's good potential right there too, at $200. Don't not advising you guys to do that. Sorry, my brain just squirrels a little bit. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna do a couple other videos here on some of the options. Oh, that's right. I wanted to show you guys some of the options. Guys, just check out the other video because there was a PayPal option. There was a Palantir option. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you what, it's going. Look at this, just raising the roof today. I was looking at or no, I had a February 16th, 23. I had that for I had it for 56 bucks back in geez, a month or two ago. Sold out at 39 because I didn't think it was going to make way. So I lost money on that, guys. Lose money as always. Not always. Not as always, but everybody loses money. 90% of options go to zero. Keep that in mind. I'll do a video on options. But now we're up here at 122 a share. I had 4 of them. So what? I would have made $60. 6 4 $240. So not a huge deal. I would have made 240 total. I would have sold out all 4 for 400 and whatever that math is. But then minus the 200 that I put in, $50 option initially. So that's why that's only a $200 profit. And then Starbucks. This one really kicked me in the ass. I was looking at March 1st, 98s. I want to show you guys my orders, but I don't want to go into that quite yet. I had an order placed at $23 yesterday and it wouldn't go through. It was at 9:45, right around here. Yeah, right around here. And then they went up to to $70. So they 4x'd on me. Granted, they're coming back down now, but I that would have been a 1 day play and I would have sold out of that. So, and the reason I made that play is, I mean, they had earnings, they did absolutely phenomenal. They stayed at these levels and these were priced at $20 a month out. I mean, they were just they were just priced incorrectly. They were an absolute steal. And I couldn't get my order filled, so pain in the ass, but that's what happens. But yeah, guys, leave comments below. Let me know what you want me to talk about, what type of technical, fundamental, political, geopolitical news, anything that you guys want to see me possibly talk about and do a video on. Again, if I'm talking too fast, I'll try to slow it down. But hey, there's also that playback speed where you guys can play stuff back a little bit slower if I'm talking too fast for you. So I'm going to try to edit this up a little bit. I made a couple errors and things that I had to say, had a couple notifications pop up on the screen when I didn't want them to, when it was other business stuff popping up. So we're going to cut those out. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you watching. If you hung on this long, I am going to, like I said, edit this, do a couple more videos, and then get them scheduled out here on YouTube. Probably cut them up, put them on Instagram and Twitter as well. Check out Twitter. I'm going to be doing a lot of text posts there. Instagram will probably be cut ups of this video of like highlights of what we covered and things like that. And at some point I will be doing like Instagram lives, Q&As and things like that as well. But this is just the start. We are just getting started, my friends. I will see you guys very, very soon. Please stay tuned for more videos because we are going to do nothing but bring you guys value and make you guys money in these coming years. So let's get it.